Let's get it. Hotep King Ty BD. Yes, sir. You got that right. Hotep Brother Lamont Bricko, a.k.a. Durko. My brothers and my sisters, let me introduce y'all. Not introduce y'all. I introduced her when she was a puppy, 2 years old. Here's Stormy went to hang out today. There you go. Look at her. Say hello, Stormy. She's a girl, Chitsu. Beautiful dog. Ashe. I be walking up, people be saying, man, brother like you should have a pit bull or a Rottweiler. She's that. This is my queen's dog. Well, it was our dog, but she picked it out. Ashe, 2 years old, Stormy. My brothers and sisters, I greet you in our ancient Kemetic language, Hotep, which means peace, Amandala, which means power, power to the people. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. Those who may tune in at this time, later on the day or during the week, we do not take your presence lightly. Those of you who may not know me, I want to welcome you to the Unchain Your Brain platform. All right. My name is James Anyabwile. I am the spiritual teacher, aka Spiritual Awakener of the God in Action Ministries spiritual and cultural platform, or we'll say podcast. My purpose, brothers and sisters, is to inform, not to convince. Not trying to get you to believe what I believe and to accept what I accept, but to inform you so that you can come to your own informative conclusions. All right. My purpose, brothers and sisters, is to encourage you to be more of an analytical and critical thinker, where somebody just can't tell you something that sounds deep. You go run with it. No, I want to encourage you to research it, to see if they have truth to it, facts, evidence to what they say. Ashe? No, excuse me. I also want to challenge your mind. As I share all the time, a lot of us have been taught one-dimensional, one way. And if there's anything that comes to them that does not line up with their narrative or what they've been taught, they tend to reject it and don't want to hear it. I want you to open your mind, because what you may hear, right, because it's not familiar with you, that does not mean it's not true. That means you've never heard it before, or you never really opened your mind and your heart to analyze it and see what it was all about. Okay, so that's what I'm all about, my brothers and sisters. The key thing is, I'm not trying to convert you to any religion, though I am a legitimate, not from the state, not from no internet, legitimate organizational licensed and ordained preacher, what people would call. I no longer subscribe to any religion or denomination. I did years ago. Though I do respect them all, as long as they're being used as instruments for liberation for all people, but Black people in particular. All right, brothers and sisters. So that's a little bit about me. If you have not on this platform or my other platform, press notification, follow or notification and all that good stuff, I ask that you please do that. Share with someone, let them know that we are on. Each one, reach one, each one, teach one. Also on our YouTube page is under James Anyabwile. You can see my name under the caption here, the picture, James Anyabwile. You go to YouTube and you subscribe, press the notification bell, like and share so we can get the information out there. If you feel that this information is good enough for you, I ask that you do that. If not, so be it. Ashe? All right, brothers and sisters. Those of you have seen my subject on today. No, Storm, you're not gonna play with that right now. I gotta put in some work. Now she want to start playing with her toy. She know I'm all like, nope. All right. I may have to get up and move it from her, so I don't want to be rude. Okay. So you've seen the platform, you've seen the title on today, and we're going to deal with the heart reflects the real person. The heart reflects the real person. And when you come on this platform, brother, it's not about you looking at your neighbor or I'm sharing information, like, I see it in everybody else. He's right. Yep. Obviously, so-and-so's that way. This person's that way. No, this right here is to analyze and to examine yourself, to do some intentional personal work, That's what it's all about. And a lot of people don't like that. When it comes to working on self, they shy away from that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear this. I'm not going to tell you God going to do this and God going to do that. If you do this, God going to do this. God, no. If you do this in your life, apply certain things in your life, you will get the desired outcome. All right? You'll have positive or more positive results in your life. Though God backs your righteousness, what you do that is correct and right. I say, all right, let me turn this thing down so I don't have no interruptions. Appreciate your patience. Let me see. Okay. We cut this down. All right. Let somebody know we on, brothers and sisters. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna look to the side. I see our brother. Wada. Is that my brother? Is that my brother? Brother Rashid? Is that you? Great to see you, King. I saw your queen not too long ago and I asked about you, man. Big brother. Brother Boots, Philip Brickle, aka Boots. I don't know if you want to still deal with that name or have people call you that, but hey, we go back. We go way back. All right. The subject, the heart reflects the real person. I wanted to use as my launching pad a scripture. I'd like to use scripture. So you want to get out your pen if you like, take some notes, because we do have people who subscribe to Christianity come on and they don't want to hear nothing if you ain't using scripture. All right. They'll shut you off. He not sharing no scripture. That's not of God. I'm going to use some today. Proverbs, the 27th chapter, I believe in the 19th verse, it says, as water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. That's in the NIV version. Once again, the subject, the heart reflects the real person, not the fabricated person, not the person with a facade or who's acting, but it reflects the real person. I'm going to use another scripture to back what I set up. It says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I'm just laying my foundation. What is this saying? It's saying there's a powerful connection between or with the heart and mind. Oh, yes. Whatever your mind is filled with, if it's left there or you store it there, it will spill over into the heart. And what's in your heart will manifest itself in your actions and in your behavior. Nothing comes out of nowhere. Our actions, behaviors, and what we say and what we do, this don't just come out of nowhere. All right? It comes from the heart. Matthew, the 15th chapter, 19th verse, it says, for from the heart comes evil thoughts, murder, adultery, all sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. In other words, the heart exposes who a person really is or what they have become. A person can start off one way and in time, whatever they go through in life can end up being another way or somebody you don't even know anymore. Have you ever experienced anything like that? A person's heart reveals their true nature and that their life mirrors the state of their heart. I need to keep running that in. I'm going to keep using the word heart because we're dealing with the heart. Quiet as it's kept, believe it or not, take it or leave it, there are a lot of negative and dark things hidden in the heart of a lot of people. All right? And At this time, you should not exclude yourself too quickly when I talk about this, because it will only take the right situation, the right thing, to force whatever's in that heart, that hidden thing, that dark thing, that the thing that you don't want nobody to know about. It only takes the right thing to force it to surface or manifest itself. The right environment. That is why it's so important, brothers and sisters, to constantly give yourself a heart checkup or an examination. When I say you, I'm talking to myself first, because the message comes to me first. And I feel is worthy to share with my brothers and my sisters. See, a lot of people have suffered greatly mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as a child and as adults. Many of us, right? And quiet as it's kept, many need some professional therapy or some help to work through or to deal with the scars that their traumatic experience has afflicted on their life. Deep scars. Because you are able, or I am able, to suppress it, to disguise it, to hide it, does not mean the scars are gone. If you desire to get your heart and your mind back into good health, we're going to really have to examine our heart, check our heart to see what's really there, and to deal with the trauma that has affected us and still affecting us in many arenas of our life. I always say, you cannot change for the better. You cannot improve yourself in any way, nowhere in life, if you do not recognize, or you refuse to recognize, that you have some scars, that you have a heart problem, that you have a heart condition. And as I said on the onset, that the heart and the mind has a serious connection. There are a lot of people, especially religious folk, and I used to be that type of person. They try to mask their true heart condition, what's really going on. They try to mask it. They've become professionals at covering it up because they want to appear as if their traumatic experiences no longer have any devastating or negative effects on how they feel about certain things, how they think, how they behave, and how they live. So they believe church or mosque or temple or synagogue, they go to these places to mask what's really going on in their heart. They believe that going to these religious institutions, getting baptized or speaking in tongues or reading the Bible and praying, it really fixes, repairs, or completely heals their damaged heart, without them really doing the difficult inner work to achieve what they're trying to achieve, the healing and the repair. In order to repair and heal your heart, you can't do no external, outside things. You have to go inward and deal with the matters at hand. The heart reflects the real person. My brothers and sisters, when people try to mask what's going on in their heart by doing these external things and believe that it is sufficient to heal them, to repair, or to change their heart, that they can be no further from the truth, if I said that right. No matter what you and I do to disguise what's really going on inside the heart, one day we'll have to come face to face with ourselves. Oh yes, if you have not already. And when that day comes, it will force you and I to either decide to stay the way we are or to begin to repair, change, and modify the condition of our heart. I hope you follow me, brothers and sisters, because I'm going deeper in. These things just have to be done. Why, brother? It's not for naught. It's not to do it just to be doing it. You do it if you desire to become a better version of yourself. You do it if you desire to begin to experience more peace, joy, balance, stability in your life. That's why it's so necessary. Now, if you feel that where you are in life is a perfect place to be, how you think, how you move, how you deal, how you act, how you behave. If you feel there's nothing wrong with it, fine, stay where you are. I'm not talking to you. But if you want to become a better version of yourself, these things are necessary. Giving yourself a heart checkup, really finding what is there, and really dealing with what is there, so it can no longer negatively affect and devastate your life. Do you know the reason why, in a lot of cases, marriages are failing, parent-child relationships are failing, so many things are failing? You can put a lot more on this list, because there's a lot going on in the heart. There's a lot going on in the mind that's sabotaging our lives, or sabotaging your life. So when you come face to face with yourself, you have to decide if you want to stay the way you are, or you want to become a better version of yourself. And one thing about change, brothers and sisters, I know this, I realize this, is one of the most important, most difficult things to do in life. But change is constant. When it comes to change, it forces a person to look deep within their heart and get brutally honest with themselves. And that's what a lot of people don't want to do. They want to see themselves as perfect. None of us are perfect. I don't care who you are. I don't care what position you hold, what title you have, if you're religious or not. None of us are perfect. You have to be brutally honest with yourself and to embrace your imperfections. And that's when you position yourself to start dealing with the things within the heart, so you can catapult yourself forward into a better life. There's a lot of people who have no problem seeing clearly what other people should change about themselves, but they act blind when it comes to seeing what they need to correct or purge or change within themselves or within their heart. I used to do that. I used to be what is called always weatherproofing. Weatherproofing was when you have a house and you're looking for cracks and holes, so that you have to fill up or cork or whatever, so that the mice don't come in, or the air from the cold air from outside don't come in. So I'm always looking around. You're always looking around for cracks and holes outside yourself. We have to turn that energy around and start being a weatherproofer when it comes to ourselves. Look at ourselves. And that's one of the hardest things to do in the world, because it will force you to change. It will force me to change. Excuse me. There's a name, this sister by the name of Nicole Hannah Jones. And she's the co-author of what is called the 1619 Project. It's a curriculum. It's a curriculum that many Caucasian politicians have fought hard to keep out of the school system. Why? Because the 1619 curriculum or project, it exposes the true history of the Black experience in the hells of North America. It exposes the devastating effects that chattel slavery and Jim Crow laws and Black codes and segregation had on Black lives. It exposes the toxic hearts of violent and genocidal men who have painted themselves and this nation as being pure, Christian-like, and moral. The reason why they was able to do this, so they want to reject it and want to paint themselves as being Christian-like, pure and moral, is because they don't want to recognize, they refuse to recognize the corrupt condition of their hearts. But he's just saying action speaks louder than words. The heart reflects the real person. The way they live, the way they move, the way they act, the way they behave. Now, if you're satisfied with those things in your life, the way you move, I mean, okay, once again, Mr. Perfect, Miss Perfect, no problem. No problem. When I was studying this curriculum, it exposes the mind of those who have founded the Hells of North America, who runs the Hells of North America. It exposes their minds. And so that's why I understand why there's a strange new breed of people being produced and manufactured in our world today. They're being produced and manufactured with evil, hateful, violent, deceptive, murderous, and greed, hearts filled with greed. Yes, understand why that's happening today, this new breed. We're seeing people doing things that was unheard of or in unprecedented numbers, unlike ever before. Yes, sir. I know that you see this. I know that you hear about this. I know you read about this. I know that you see the content, the information, the books, the movies, the videos, and you hear the rap lyrics that are being released for the people's mind and heart to eat up. I know you see it. And it has created in the Hells of North America, where we live, where we are molded and shaped, has created a death culture and a deviant sex culture that the people, so many people are embracing with excitement. According to scripture, it says evil company corrupts good habits. What does that mean? If you are around something long enough, or you allow the scalpel of negative images of murder, violence, hate, greed, and racism to saturate your heart, saturate your mind, it will eventually do what it's designed to do: corrupt you. Corrupt you. And once again, that's why I understand why we see this new breed of strange people being produced and manufactured in the Hells of North America. And we see a lot of it going on in our black people. It's not a black thing. They just shine the spotlight on us as if we're the only one doing it. But that's not true. So you heard all of this and how things can come through the ear gates and eye gates to corrupt your mind and corrupt your heart. We heard this. So according to Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, it instructs, guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to go there. No, no, nah, nah, nah. Everything that we do flows from the heart. The heart reflects the real person or what a person has become. I hope you're getting something out of this, brothers and sisters. The scripture teaches, I'm going to deal with this again. Examine yourself. Preachers, pastors, stop telling your people to tell your neighbor. Because once you tell them to tell their neighbor, they take the focus off of them. Tell yourself. Examine yourself. And that's something that we need to do every day. When we look in the mirror before going outside in public, that's what we do. We examine ourselves. Make sure our hair is right. You got your eyeliner on, your makeup on, you got your head, you know what I'm saying, your eyelashes, whatever, your face is greased up. We do that every day, but we must get into the habit of examining our heart on a daily basis. Because that is where all the negative, destructive, and toxic feeling thoughts, the feelings of greed and jealousy and envy and hate, that's where that is all stored and hidden at. The heart. You can't see it looking in, but eventually your heart exposes who you really are. According to Matthew 7:23, it says, all these evil things come from within and defiles the person. Oh, yes. Once again, if you don't have the need, or you don't feel the need to examine yourself, 9 times out of 10, yes, 9 times, it's because you don't think nothing's dysfunctional about you. Like I said earlier, we all are imperfect. We all have some hang-ups. We all have some dysfunction. That don't make you a bad person. But if you have these things and don't do something about it, then there's a problem. Are you following me, brothers and sisters? So when you feel you don't have to examine yourself, you don't think anything is dysfunctional about you. But regardless of what you might think, regardless of what you may feel, you have something in your heart. I have something in my heart that's not serving you well, that's not serving other people well, and it needs to be purged out. It needs to be corrected. There's a saying. You can fool some people some of the time, I'm paraphrasing, but you can never fool yourself. You can't fool yourself. You may play dumb. I may play dumb, but you can't fool yourself. In other words, you know yourself better than anybody else knows you. So nobody don't have to come to you and say, Bobby, Johnny, James, whoever, you need to stop. Don't you see what you're doing? You need to correct this. You need to modify this. You need to change. You know better than they know. We cannot fool ourselves. I'm using scripture, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, it says, for who knows a person's thoughts except their own spirit within? You know yourself better than anybody else knows you. Stop playing. So if you don't get real with yourself, and begin to purge and change or repair the conditions of your heart, which the mind is seriously connected to, you may end up doing something that you may regret later in life. Have you ever done that before? I have done that many times. And sometimes you can do something and as a child or as a teenager and regret it, and you still have to deal with it today. Sometimes it becomes a permanent fixture in your life. That's why you have to think before you act, think before you speak. The heart reflects the real person. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. The heart reflects the real person. Now, allow me to go to another area, and I'm going to begin to wind this down. We talked about you and I having how crucial, how critical it is, important it is to examine our heart, because there are some dark and hidden things there. What do you mean? But have you ever sat down by yourself, slowed down? Because a lot of people like to run because they don't want to look at what's really going on inside. Slow down and something go through your mind. Like, oh my God. Oh, how did I think about that? Oh my, trying to shake your head. Oh, what the heck? Where did I get that from? Oh my God, that's not me. Those things I'm talking about. We cannot stop these things, a lot of these things will come in our mind, but we have the power to purge it out. Because if not, we'll begin to act on these things that comes in our mind that no one else knows about. You see on television, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that. Not too long ago, this 15-year-old killed his mother and his father and trying to and killed his 3 or 4 siblings. 15. It didn't come out of nowhere. There were some dark thoughts and feelings in his mind and his heart that was stored there, that remain there. And he acted it out. Maybe that's not what he always was, but because he left that thing there, that is what he became, a murderer. So I'm going to I dealt with that. So let me deal with befriending people without knowing the true intent of their heart. So one thing about it, a lot of us say we got a lot of friends, we know a lot of people, acquaintances, associates, and all that stuff. We have to be careful with, talk about friends, you know what I'm saying? But we talk that, right? But how many of us have been taught or learned the science of making friends? It's a science. There's a science to it. It's like there's a science of dealing with economics. It's a science of dealing with your health. It's a science. So I'm going to deal with that. But a lot of us have not been taught the science of making friends or befriending people. Now, this reminds me of the Native Americans and our African ancestors. Now, this is true history, world history. The Europeans came in, even the Arabs, because the Arabs came in and invaded Africa thousands of years before the Europeans came in. The Arab Muslims. And they did worse to our people than the Europeans. Matter of fact, the Arabs taught the Europeans how to do what they did when they had us under their grip and chattel slavery for 400 plus years. So the Indians, the Native Americans, and our ancestors, right? The Europeans and the Arabs came in posing as friends. Hope I'm not losing you here. Hang with me. So when they came posing as friends, the Native American Indians and our African ancestors, what they did was they dropped their guard and they began to befriend them. Open arms, come on in, let us feed you. Let us give you somewhere to sleep. Let us give you somewhere to relax because you had a long journey. They did that without taking the time out to find out the true intent of their hearts. And what happened? Because they refused to do that, or they did not do that. They were displaced. They were enslaved, pillaged, robbed, raped, sold, and slaughtered because of it. Because they didn't take the time out to find out the true intent of those who came into their land, the true intent of their heart. What is the valuable lesson here, my brothers and sisters? It is unwise. And please teach your children the science of making friends or seeking out friends. Because a lot of us got had already. A lot of us at an age, we want to hear nothing. We think we know everything. But please teach your children the art or the science of making friends. Teach them that it is unwise to befriend someone or allow them to get too close to you too quickly. Oh, yes. And you need to embrace this and apply this too. You need to not do this too quickly without knowing their genuine motives, their desires, and intentions. I don't know about you, but I've learned that loyal and true friendship is not easy to find. It don't come a dime a dozen. You met somebody, oh, I met a friend today. You know somebody for 6 months, oh, this is my friend. You start bringing them in your house, around your children, around your wife. The more somebody know about you, the more they can disturb and destroy. You have to learn the science of making friends. Everybody around you is not your friend. I don't care who you are. I pastored for 20 years. Dealt with hundreds, if not thousands of people. I'm not saying in my congregation, I'm talking about throughout the years. I ministered to thousands throughout the years. 20 years as a pastor and 30 years altogether as a ordained, what they call an ordained minister, a preacher. I learned the hard way. Everybody around you is not your friend. Just because you have good laughs together, or they know somebody that you know, or know somebody in your family, or you have a lot in common. Those are not ingredients to befriend someone. Some people are better left alone. Why? Because their heart is not right. And a lot of people that we around and you around, you see those red flags. And for some reason you downplay it. You act like you don't see it. Or you say, oh, that's just Shakita, or that's just Larry, or that's just Billy. You see it. That their heart is not right. But you still let them around. You still let them in. You still let them in your confidence. That is unwise. It is unwise to allow people to into your life too quickly. Especially in the kind of world we live in today. It requires you to be careful and cautious. I'm not saying be paranoid. I'm not talking about walking around, you can't trust nobody. Now that'll paralyze you. I'm talking about being cautious and being careful and being observant and being alert. Nowadays, you can't assume something about someone. You better know what you're dealing with. You better know what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with before you befriend them, before you allow them in your confidence or you allow them in your circle. Before you do all these things, it is critical that you do some research. Ask a lot of questions. Observe them. Ask around about them. Watch them. Don't rush it. In some cases, you may have to go as far as doing a background check on that junkie, brother or sister. Because you don't know if they are psychologically or emotionally stable or not. You don't know the true intent of their heart. You have to give it some time. Because you have people who can act, hell of an actor, just to get you to drop the guard to come in. But if you wait, an actor has a script, and sooner or later, their part is up. Then the true self is revealed. It takes years to build a true friendship. We talk about the science of building friendship. It takes years. And you don't take the time to get to know a person, you can put yourself and your family in harm's way. We're talking about the heart reveals the real person. Are you getting something out of this? Or can you share this with someone or have your own discussion and talk about it the way you talk about it with someone you know who needs to hear this? I know that, like I said, we're not God, we're not mind readers. We can't just walk around and just read somebody's heart. I know it's impossible to know another person's heart 100%. I know it's not. But God has given us a discerning spirit to detect strange and uncomfortable vibes, to detect a strange, uncomfortable, negative energy that can protect us. We all experience that. We all can detect it. But like I said, a lot of us dumb it down or act like we don't feel it or see it. Or a lot of us are so numb, drugged out, or your mind is intoxicated, or you're always high, you're always busy or distracted where you can't detect certain things. It numbs you, prevents you from being alert and observant. And it prevents you from being able to feel energy and vibes from other people. But God gives us that to protect us. And when your spirit detects something about a person, once again, don't sleep on it. The science of building friendship. We have the Hosea. Now, share that with you. I'm coming to my close. The Hosea is a compilation of ancient African scriptures that's older, 3,000, 4,000 years older than the Old Testament and the New Testament. Oh, yes. The oldest books, the pyramid text and the Corpus text, or what they call the Medu Neter. In ancient Africa, what they call ancient Egypt. God spoke to us first. Way before a Quran or a Bible or Torah or whatever spiritual book was compiled or written. But they taught you that anything from Africa, anything from your ancestry is negative, is of the devil, is not of God. Let it go. Leave it alone. Discard it. Oh, yes. So in the Hosea, it gives us some science on how to choose friends wisely, especially in this world of deceptive and sick-hearted people. So in this book is a book called the Book of Ani, A-N-I, page 54, section 5. It says, take then for a friend who is true and just, one whose actions you have observed, and if your righteousness equals his or her righteousness, your friendship will be balanced. The science of making friends. So what's the key here? If you are a stable-hearted, a stable-minded, a pure-hearted, a pure-minded person, then you ought to connect with the kind of people who are like yourself. Who are like yourself. Because what they say, birds of the feather flock together. I'm not saying to treat those who are not like you as if you're better than them, or they're from the devil, or they're worthless or valueless, or their life is not important. I'm not telling you that. What I'm saying is you have to not be so quick to embrace them, bring them into your confidence, bring them into your circle. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? The heart reflects the real person. Yes, sir. This is my close. These are some of the things that you can do. This is part of the science of making friends or befriending people, allowing people to befriend you. These are some things that you can do. Like I said, any of us can get had. Any of us can get fooled. Any of us can get tricked. Any of us can be deceived. Any of us can be manipulated. Any of us can be lulled to sleep. That's why we have to walk around with a clear mind and clear heart so we can be able to detect as much as we can the vibes and negative energies in other people. So these are things you do to protect and guard yourself in a world filled with people who have corrupted or who have compromised their hearts, or whose heart have been corrupted or compromised. The first thing is to check yourself. Not your neighbor. I said it, I'm going back to check yourself. The first thing. Because a lot of times we're more of a danger to ourselves than other people are to us. Check yourself. A lot of times we do more harm to ourselves than the other people have done to us. There's a lot of times we sabotage our lives more than others can sabotage our lives. There's a cartoon named Pogo. He said, "We found the enemy. And it is us." So examine yourself. Examine your heart. Number one. Examine your heart to see what you must purge from it so you can become a better version of yourself. That is what you and I should always want. Then you have to check your circle before they hurt you. Check your circle before they hurt you. Make sure nobody with ill intent has crept in unaware. Remind me of Jesus. According to the book, he had 12 disciples, and they say one crept in unaware. But according to the study, Jesus knew exactly who he was. He said he was a thief, and he also said he would betray him. Check your circle before they hurt you, so no one with ill intent will creep in unaware. Another thing, get out of the habit of striking conversations or holding conversations or being too friendly with men and women you don't know or people you don't hardly know, because there's some sick people out there will take it as if you're trying to lead them on. I experienced that before. Being nice to someone, talking to someone, being kind to someone, and they took it as if you're leading them on or if you're trying to get with them. Be careful. You can wave, how you doing? Be cordial. Keep it moving. Oh, yes. Another thing, brother, this is my last one. If you are in an abusive relationship, you either saw the red flags and you paid it no mind, or once you got in, then the real person started coming out, because there's people out here, chameleons. They switch up on you. If you're in an abusive relationship of any kind, verbal, physical, emotional, financial, physical, psychological, it might be time, or that time for you to make an exit plan. Oh, yes. And when you make that exit plan, you should do it in silence. Do it silently, because it can put you in some serious danger if you threaten to leave. I'm leaving you. I'm packing my stuff. I'm leaving you. You crazy. I'm leaving you. I'm talking about if a man said to a woman or a woman said to a man. You giving them time to plan whatever they're going to plan to prevent you from making your exit move. Once their heart reveal who they really are. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? I hope that what I shared with you was helpful to you. And if you feel it's helpful for somebody else, I ask that you please share. All right? And I pray that you have a beautiful day today, and that life for you will continue to get better and better and better. Life is what you make it. It ain't gonna boing out no sky from Jesus or God or Allah or Jehovah or Elohim. No, it ain't gonna boing anywhere. It's what you make it. But you have to have a pure heart and a pure mind in the process to make that happen or achieve your goal. Those of you brothers and sisters who would like to support us or help us out, the information is at the bottom of the screen. There's a way that you can, if you desire to. We have a Cash App, $ GIAM, number 20, PayPal, paypal.me/HOTEP. Number 2, if you desire to do that, you can. There's a way you can do that. All right? And if you know someone who looking for a platform that's going to help elevate our people, speak truth, and share applicable knowledge that will transform lives, share the information with them if you'd like to. My brothers and sisters, thank you for listening. I do not take your presence lightly, and I once again hope that you got something out of what I shared. I hope I was clear. And so I'll leave you as I came in with Hotep, which means peace, Amandla, which means power, power to the people. My time is up. See you next time. Pray for me as I pray for you. Stay alert. Stay vigilant. Stay observant. In the world that we're in today, Ashe.